Religion has been with humanity for thousands of years, but not because it leads us to truth. From ancient tribes to global empires, religion has always served a purpose. But that purpose wasn't what most people think. It wasn't to help us find God. It was to help us explain what we couldn't understand, and more importantly, to control what we couldn't control. In the early days of human history, life was filled with chaos. Storms, earthquakes, plagues. People didn't know why these things happened. And when the mind faces the unknown, it searches for meaning. So early humans created stories. Stories about invisible powers, gods, spirits, forces in the sky that could explain the chaos. These stories slowly became belief systems. And those belief systems evolved into religions. At first, these beliefs were attempts to cope with fear. If your crops failed, it wasn't random. The gods must be angry. If someone died suddenly, it wasn't just tragedy. It was fate or punishment. Believing in supernatural causes gave people a sense of order in a world that felt out of control. But something else happened, too. As soon as people believed the gods were in control, someone stepped in to speak for those gods. That's where religion became something else entirely. Priests, prophets, and holy men started claiming divine authority. Not because they were closer to God, but because they knew belief was power. If people believed the gods had rules, and someone claimed to know those rules, they held control over the people. Suddenly, religion wasn't just about explaining life. It was about managing and governing life. In many ancient societies, breaking a religious rule wasn't just wrong. It was dangerous. It threatened the whole system. Because if one person questioned the priest, then the priest's power and the structure of society could collapse. So religion created fear. Fear of punishment. Fear of blasphemy. Fear of eternal consequences. And rulers saw how useful that fear could be. Kings started claiming divine right, saying their authority came from God. Empires were built with swords in one hand and holy books in the other. Religion became the reason to go to war, to conquer, to enslave, to silence opposition. If God said it, who could argue? The fusion of religion and power became one of the strongest forces in human history. And it was rarely used to uplift people. It was used to control them. Even today, that same structure remains. Religion gives people rules to follow, identities to cling to, and enemies to fight. It tells people who's in and who's out, who's saved and who's lost. It gives comfort, yes, but often at the cost of truth. The truth is religion took the infinite mystery of existence and reduced it to a membership program. Over time, religions adapted to new cultures and political systems. New religions borrowed from old ones. Christianity absorbed traditions from Judaism. Islam took from both. Pagan rituals were repackaged as holy days. Christmas trees, Easter eggs, wedding ceremonies. Most of these came from earlier nature-based traditions. Religions didn't arise in isolation. They were molded by the politics and psychology of the societies they served. And while religions changed, one thing stayed the same: the structure of control. Do this. Don't do that. Believe this. Don't question that. Follow the rules or face the consequences, in this life or the next. Even the idea of heaven and hell, a better world after death, has often been used not to awaken people, but to sedate them. If you suffer now, just wait. If you're oppressed, don't resist. Your reward is coming later. It trains people to endure injustice rather than confront it. But this raises the question: if religion was about control, why do so many people still find comfort in it? Because religion taps into real human needs. We want meaning. We want community. We want to feel part of something bigger than ourselves. We want hope in the face of suffering. And religion promises all of these things. But the problem is, it offers them in exchange for your freedom. Instead of helping you connect directly with the divine, religion inserts itself as the middleman. Instead of guiding you to truth, it tells you what truth is and punishes you for asking questions. The real journey, the journey back to God, back to the source of being, doesn't begin with belief. It begins when belief falls away. When you stop outsourcing your soul to systems and start listening to the still, silent voice within. The divine isn't something you can inherit from a book or a preacher. It's not something reserved for the chosen few. It's what you are beneath the stories, beneath the fear, beneath the programming. And once you see that, you no longer need religion to feel close to God. Because you finally remember, you were never separate.